Hey, welcome to another lecture of MCTV 43. Tim's here with Braulio in the editing class here on campus, and you can see our friends in the Zoom listening to the lecture. And of course, if you're watching this, you should either be reviewing what I talked about today, or you're a person who doesn't come to either and wants participation credits. So remember, in the discussion below, say something you like, something that was interesting, something that was not necessary. Hi, Nick. Hi, Jason. Are walking into class now. Okay. We're going to start by, I'm going to share a video. It's a fun edit. And you know what? It'll speak for itself why I'm sharing it. It's from like this thing that I just learned about. It's like some type of sci-fi thing. Weird, but
you heard about the
forget what it's called. It's called Seagulls.
Trade Federation's blocking that move.
I don't know what that means, but I know this.
Oh.
Are you looking to create better learning experiences?
Wait, before we do this, Mateo, did you hear that audio that I was just playing? I want to double check and make sure that
Yeah, I did hear it.
Okay, thank you, Mateo. I can always count on you to let me know. Okay, let's. I got to change my settings though, so that it plays through the class because we're about to watch a very video that is edited nicely. This of course is a bad lip reading, which is kind of like 10-year-old YouTube meme thingy. But this song is in my head constantly.
And for your thoughts. I hate Brenda, and a bad guy hit me in the shin, and I peed all in my pants. A little music can help. Rock it, man, oh man. Down to the beach, I'm strolling. But the seagulls, okay, my head, but I said seagulls. Stop it now. Water going, at the straw on the beach. Since seagulls don't come, we need to come down. But yeah, when these birds attack me, and I'm trying to run my trail, and these kids start laughing. I think the neck could have had to start. Where did it come from? Give me a back fire. Stop. Put me down. I love to prove and prove it. Yeah, great. Show you some dance moves. You know, I don't want you to. My head no giant feet out there on the beach. About run those birds. There's Geico Wiener. My grandpa Peter. Come on, man, keep that passion. That's thanks. Fish in our basket. Oh, yeah. We're gonna have it then. Owe me an apology. Just hold your breath and see on the time track. First back and face. Be back by quiet. Swing from on terrified. Be back by quiet cloud. Stand on candy. Box with no special gift. Love, my face. Good. One day I was walking around this big log, and I rolled the log over. Underneath was a tiny little stick. I was like, that log, don't you? So then, when you walk over, you forget your fly over. your nightmare, screaming cold. If we love to see her, on your knees. I've been down.
Yeah, whatever, you're sort of pitchy.
Didn't like it.
Listen, man, I'm not your friend.
Don't fall asleep. I've been down.
Okay, that's the single best thing bad lip reading has ever done. You can watch the whole movie, they bad lip read a whole part of it, and there's other songs. What?
What's this movie
Stop it. Seagulls, stop it now.
called? No, but what's the movie?
What's the movie?
Yeah.
Bad lip reading of Empire Strikes Back, whatever that means. I like that the green guy was funny. So that
Is Baby Yoda?
he doesn't look like a baby to me. But I bring that up to say that everything that they did in that video is extremely accomplishable by everything that you've learned in this class now. What techniques did you notice that they did to do the bad lip reading? We learned how to record audio, right? Remember, I recorded my audio of I'm gonna ride the worm, right? Like for the Dune animation process. But what other editing did they use? So the bad lip reading, right, is like the whole point is to add different dialogue to what that looks close enough so that the lip syncs look normal. Well, they benefited from choosing a scene with Yoda, right? Because Yoda's a puppet. And the puppet's lips aren't necessarily just opening and closing. It's not like they're forming how, like when we see Mark Hamill's lips move, they very specifically use him in times when the words match perfectly, right? Like he's not singing. They weren't able to make a song out of Mark Hamill necessarily. So that's something to think about. I think they did another song with Chewbacca or something. Because of puppets, or they chose like a thing, and yeah. But really, realistically, if you watch that video, I've seen that video, I don't know, close to too many times. And we look, and yesterday I was literally listening to that song on loop with my kids. They love that song. 148 million views, by the way, on YouTube in 7 years. Okay. Yeah, I'm about 100 of them. That's about how many views I got on my on the worm video. But I bring this up to excuse me. Not only to expose you to some interesting editing, but the techniques used in there. Well, first and foremost, text on the screen, easy enough. We learned how to make the text. It's edited. They specifically chose different elements of the Yoda scene from Empire Strikes Back to match the lyrics. I always think the one that's interesting is when Yoda sings, whoa, like, and they chose the element of when does that happen in that Empire Strikes Back scene? Where he goes in, I was like, he's falling off. It's when Luke, oh great. I was dancing too much like Yoda. It's when Luke is like losing concentration, right? Like Luke's doing the balancing thing and he gets in his head about his friends dying or whatever, and Yoda's like on his leg and falls. So they use that to make the singing, but also what's an interesting element is they just reversed some of the clips. They slowed down some of the clips to match. And those are all things that we can do really easily on our timelines, right? Like it's a pretty basic but nuanced edit, right? Everything in there is to tell the story, but there's nothing that's like After Effects intensive. It's just sitting there and like watching, making the song and watching. I mean, obviously, I think how bad lip readings work is they choose the clip and they try to like say things that match, that's funny. And then if you've seen the original, they only have Yoda sing like maybe 3 lines instead of the entire song. And so then they flush it out to a big giant piece. Make sense? Really easy to accomplish thing. If any of you do a bad lip reading, I'd be so happy if you turned it in for a lesson. And you know what? While we have it, let me bring this up. So I'm going to share. Well, let me open Premiere first. I'm going to show you just a couple things in Premiere today, but today is basically a practical lab where I'm not going to lecture, but we're going to edit in class. And what does that mean? I'm going to personally edit. We shot on Friday my film, and I am going to talk through me editing my short film. As a method you can follow, or you can work on your own films, but I expect everyone to be working on something that's practical or sorry, let me just open this up before I keep talking. I expect you to be turning in something, working on something for ultimately the end of the class. The other thing I wanted to note, and let me share my screen here again. Let's share my desktop. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to go to my Gavlin. Oh, let's go to our Gav and let's go into our modules. Remember last time I showed you how to chroma key and how to green screen, right? Well, I wanted to let you know that in our modules, I have updated week 11. Your green screen assignment's worth 100 points. And basically what it is you're going to come in here into this green screen doc. And in this doc, it has a list of a whole bunch of different green screen clips on YouTube.
To be free and flexible and creative was really essential to what I wanted to make, and I didn't find a platform.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, hello there.
Okay.
Tons of memeable Shrek stuff, right? Like we all know these Shrek memes. But if you go on YouTube and just type in green screen blue, obviously, why is Shrek on blue instead of green? Because he's green, right? So, but we have here a document that has a whole bunch of different elements. What I want you to do is use multiple green screens to put together some type of story. You have to use at least 5 different chroma key elements, but have fun with it. You could add, there's like an alien, here's an alien. But feel free to go through. You definitely, if you need something to work on, this is a perfect thing to be working on right now, because it is due about 3 weeks from, or it's due. Oh, I think the date's wrong here. Let me fix that. Oh no, Tim, what are you gonna do? Oh,
There's a bunch of.
it's due.
Like SpongeBob staring at that alien dance. He's like, sorry, I don't speak Italian.
There you go. So yes, it's due April. It's due April 21st. But here's also a secret to everybody who's watching this and or is in class. I famously will never. Is Zoom closed? Do we lose? Are you guys there? What's going on? Let's stop shares. Okay, there you go. Sorry. I was going crazy for a second. I famously, yeah, the thing in the back is not working right now. Okay, that's what's going on. All right. I hope I'm still recording. Okay. I famously don't care about due dates. I mean, you have to turn it in by then. And but if you are late, I will never hold late. I'll never dock you late points, even though at the beginning I might have lied and said I'll take off 10%. But here's the thing about being late. If you have to turn it in before class ends, and you could turn it all the way into like the very last day of class, and anything I get after that, I have to submit your grade. So if I don't have time to grade it, you can't get it graded. So that's a little secret for everybody who's watching, which should be every single student in this classroom. Also, one more thing, extra credit opportunity. Would you all like to earn I'm deciding how much. 50 points of extra credit? No? Nick doesn't want 50 points extra credit? All right, well then I won't tell you. No. This Saturday, and I believe it's at two. Well, it's okay. This Saturday, tickets aren't on sale yet, but this Saturday, and I'll send you an announcement as well in class, but this Saturday, I believe at 2 p.m. in Cinelux Morgan Hill, if you come buy a ticket to the premiere of Grant Richards and my latest film, Do Not Disturb, you will get, and you take a picture of yourself there and turn it in. I'll give you 50 extra credit points in this class. Also, guess what? Any of my other classes or Grant's other classes, you can double dip and get extra credit points there too. So easy extra credit opportunity. And you get to go see a really cool film made by a lot of GAP student filmmakers and a feature length film. So I will add it to our, I think tickets go on sale Wednesday. I looked today, it wasn't there yet. But yeah, 2 p.m., right? Yeah, 2 p.m. Saturday. It'll be a fun opportunity to go sit in the theater, watch a feature length film. And then afterwards, you can go sneak into Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which is going to be a really bad movie, I can tell. Looks like utter trash, just like the last one and the last two and the last. There's only 2 decent Ghostbuster films. What? That one's better than, it's better than these nostalgia ones. Well, no. Yeah, I know, I agree. Ghostbusters Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and then Ghostbusters, Lady Ghostbusters, and then these trash ones that are like Stranger Thing Ghostbusters.
Got the plans for the rest of the
Well,
No, I get a test. I think this Thursday.
Clever
Shrek
girl.
2 is on in the theater.
hell yeah. This Thursday, we're all going to Shrek 2 in theaters. Geronimo swears it's my computer, but I'm sure it is. Okay. There we go. We're back. All right. Let me show you Premiere. I feel like I'm not sharing my screen anymore. So I'll share it again. Let's go into Premiere. Okay. So I talked about Yoda, right? So a couple things that they did do was mess with the timing of Yoda, slowed him down or made him go faster. Now, how do we do that? Have we talked about making our clips slow-mo or? No, we haven't talked about that. Well, that's great. Let's talk about it right now. So if I click on my clip and I right click it right here, it gives me all these options. If you haven't right clicked on your clip yet, I really encourage it. There's a lot of options. Look, and you've seen me do this to scale the frame or make an adjustment layer, reveal in project. Those are all good ones. Make offline, link media. This one, let's talk about right here, speed and duration. Okay, so I'm going to open up speed duration, and now I have this clip. Now, right now it says my speed's at 100%, and my duration of this clip is 9 seconds and 8 frames. Okay, well, first and foremost, let's click this button right here that says reverse speed. And I'm going to say, okay, well, reverse speed does what? We're going to watch this soccer clip. Oh, Ronaldo's laying down. Now he was like running backwards, but it wasn't that dramatic. And I feel like it went offline again. Oh, this projector sucks. Remind me to yell at Geronimo when he gets here, okay? Okay. We see it again in here. Okay, but look, he's walking backwards. There's a part of the clip that we could tell. We've reversed our clip. So easy enough. We reversed our clip just by going the speed and clicking reverse. So if you want to make the clip backwards. Now, of course, when do you want your clips to do backwards? When you want things to look backwards. But sometimes I'll reverse shots to, I don't know, just to make it so that I think the shot looks, like I have a camera movement. I want the camera movement to go down instead of going up. I would reverse the clip. Now, the elements that you have to look for, like, are there weird things in the shot that will make it look reversed? Human movement reversed almost never looks natural if you're watching it. I have a shot of a jib shot of like a garlic field and it reveals the sky and it looks great. And if I do it reverse where I want to start with the sky and go down, my big problem is there's a little tiny truck in the background driving and it drives backwards if I do it backwards. And I caught that one time. So yeah, well, we could talk about that in the future too. I just recently did something like that. So, so that's our speed now. Freaking annoying. I didn't do it. One day when you are older, you could get hit by a boulder. All right, give me a second at home while I try to problem solve this dumb thing. Okay, I hate how there's the delay. Okay, so now I'm right clicking. I'm going back in this speed duration here. Okay, notably, look, now my duration's longer. Why? Because I dragged my clip out and made it bigger. So it's 15 seconds and 2 frames. Okay, if I wanted it to be fast motion, what should my speed be? $150. Okay, yes, we want to make the speed percentage greater. So if we go 150, we can see now that, let's look at our clips. All right, look, he's playing soccer fast. Ronaldo's great like that. He's getting up quick. Okay, so we basically, and notably we can look here, when we changed it from 150, look at our duration, it went from 15 seconds to 10 seconds. It's basically like we doubled, we took off half, we took off a third, we made it a third faster basically. Okay, well, what happens if I go up to like 900% speed? Now that entire clip becomes 1 second. Well, let's look at that. Whoa, yeah, Rewald, yeah, he's pretty quick. All right. It slowed down because there's a clip under here. Let's get rid of that. Okay, here we go. All right, so now we know it's 1 second. Cool. We want fast motion. We want to do a time-lapsey thing. We can do it here. Okay, let's make slow motion now, though. What percentage should it be at? Let's go back to 100%. What do you think? Well, we went up, so it makes me think that if we go down, well, let's go to 80%. All right, look, our 15 frames are now 18, or our 15 seconds are now 18 seconds. Let's see that. All right, let's watch our 18 seconds. Looks pretty decent, right? This is just about 80%. It's kind of slow-mo. Jagged is what Jason's saying. Well, Jason, let me get to like more higher percent for people to start realizing. Let's go 50%. Okay, now it's double the length, basically. And yes, if we start watching it here, we're going to start seeing that, yeah, it's slower, but we are seeing it almost looks like it's glitching, right? Or it's like bad. What happens to Netflix when your internet connection's bad? You're kind of buffering. It'll be even more dramatic when I do it here. Let's go. That was, we basically doubled the speed, but let's make it like 30% now. Okay. All right, we should all be seeing like how choppy it looks, right? It's really looking choppy. Why does it look choppy? I've seen slow-mo on TV before, and there's really cool slow-mo shots that don't look choppy like this. Could even be going at 30%. Why do you think it looks choppy, everybody?
The camera that they use for-
The camera that they use to record. Well, we're watching like the World Cup camera, like why? They're cheap at though. Well, first and foremost, number one. Yes. So being slow-mo, what happens is in order to accomplish slow motion in filmmaking, essentially what you're doing is you are adding frames to, because making it slow doesn't mean that there's less frames. They're just filling in the frames more. So what does that mean? That means, so slow motion was invented. Okay, let's go back to the 1900s, okay? Here, I'm going to stop share so I can talk. Let's go back to the 1900s. When film was invented, they created the first camera, film camera. And how did it work? Well, the cameraman cranked the film through the camera where it was exposed to light. So just like a normal camera at that time, they would take the lens cap off the lens, have the image that they were aiming at expose onto the film. Well, they realized if I crank the film through at a certain speed, it would expose a different image. I wasn't even touching it. It would expose a different image at a different interval. And guess what happened was they realized that with the motion, if they cranked faster, it would record the images quicker, right? So if I'm going like this and I'm recording 24 frames a second by doing this motion, but if I slightly go faster, am I getting more images or less images? More, right? So now I'm getting 60 frames a second. So then when I play it back, it's still going to play at the same normal speed. So it's going to do what? Is it going to create fast motion or slow motion? It's going to be slow. Why? Because the images are going to go through the projector at the same speed, but there's going to be more capturing a bigger amount. So if the projector's still projecting at 24 frames per second, yet in a second we recorded 60 frames, that means when it does 24 frames, everything's going to be slower. And the reverse is true. They realized if they crank slower, everything looks faster. You ever watch an old like film from early filmmaking and everything seems a little fast motion, right? Like they're moving a little too fast. It doesn't feel natural. Well, that's because,
World War I footage.
yeah, news footage too. That's because they hadn't invented a device that could manually crank the camera at a set speed. So every film reel was different based off of just the motion of the filmmaker. So frame rates were just off. So sometimes you would get like the Keystone Cops were like really jittery and seemed fast motion, and then would be normal. And that's how frame rates work, and that's how slow motion and fast motion was invented unintentionally. So with that in mind, if we are working in a digital space, let's go back to Premiere. And we take a digital file that was recorded, let's say, in either the two standard formats, which are either 23 or 24 frames per second, or 29 or 30 frames per second, one of those two editing bases, and I do slow-mo, what's going to happen is it's going to hold on the frames longer in order to accommodate. We're slowing this down, and then in 1 second, I only have 2 frames to work with. So digitally, I'm going to make these 2 frames longer or shorter. Now, how do I accomplish good slow-mo in a real digital space? Well, like you said, a better camera. Well, not necessarily a better camera, but recording in a different frame rate. So if you want to film slow-mo, you should record at a higher frame rate. You can, cameras have variable frame rates. So instead of recording at 23 per second, let's say I want to slow my footage down by half, I should record at what? Well, 60 is a good option, but if I wanted exactly at half, it would be what? 48 frames per second? That's not really an option. But yeah, 60 is really, because 60 is the double of 30, which is a pretty standard. And I shoot a lot of my product videos I do for garlic and cooking at 60 frames per second so that I can do the slow-mo egg crack, or I can open up the garlic in slow-mo and we see this. You can, and you can really change your frame rate in order to get really more slow-mo. So the more frames you have, the like my mini Ursa will go up to 120 frames per second. That eats up a lot of data. And another problem with like filming that much, a much higher frame rate is what, Jason, with the camera?
You have to go through all that footage if you
Well, no, that's not what I'm asking for, but light levels, you need more light levels. You have to light more because it's taking in so much more information. So those are elements to think. So probably, and we're working off of the fan cam here from Mateo. I'm guessing Mateo probably downloaded it off of YouTube or some clip grab, which is probably either a 23 or a 30 frame rate. So it's not the highest quality. It's not filmed in a good slow motion. But let me just show you an example here. One day when you are older, you could be hit by a boulder. And it had a child. It had a little stick. I was like, that's its child. All right. Let's take this. I'm gonna just drag in this clip right here. Some deviled eggs right there. Oh, help me please. Shh, he's just walking in. No, teasing. Okay, so notably, let's go right here. All right, we got an egg drop right there. That's a good clip right here to look. All right, so first and foremost, just for our sake, I'm gonna auto this. I'm gonna up the color just so we can see it a little bit better. I know you're green here in here, which I'll move it down. Okay, so let's check it out. Let's watch this. All right, see that? That is at a normal speed. That's what the egg looked like. It was just a slow pour. But if I look at my clip here and look, remember, I can go in here and I can reveal in project. Here's my clip over here. Here's my clip right here. And notably right here, look at our frame rate. We can see that this right here was cut at 59.94. Or sorry, recorded in 59, so about 60 frames per second, let's say that. So that means I can actually go in here and we can change the speed of this clip. Now we're working in a 23 timeline, right? So if I'm going to go in here and say speed duration, I can go to half. I can actually go all the way up to 40% and not start having clipping. I can go more, but record it at 60 on a 23 timeline. Mathematically, For real, this is the dumbest thing. Okay. Okay. Now we can watch this clip, and I'm gonna drag it down. Let's take a look. He's here. Okay. So do we saw the difference between the egg and there? Yes. And it's not clipping at all. Thank you. Your projector sucks, dude.
It's not my projector.
Yeah, well, you're in charge of it. Makes me angry. Okay. Okay. So that's how we can control. Now, again, even though it's shot in 60, I can make it look really bad. By like, let's make it go to 10%. Well, not shot intentionally for that. Let's try this and see. Okay. I know it's green up on the screen, but we can see that that isn't a smooth slow-mo. And I'm sure on Zoom, it looks like Zoom probably, like, right? Like, yeah, you know, it's going there, but we can definitely see some artifacting and it's not a smooth slow-mo. We can see where the frames are stuttering almost. What?
What are you cooking?
This is a no, I wasn't cooking. This is a video I shot for Christopher, yeah. Okay. All right. And that's our lesson in speed and duration for today. Oh, yeah, you can do that. How do you do that? Oh, did someone leave? Did I leave? We got two participants. Mateo's there. Oh, we lost the other person. All right. Well, 10%. Yes, I know how to do this. I'm thinking about it, Jason, right now. I'm trying to remember how to do it in my head because I haven't done it in a while. It has been a while. I mean, so basically you want it to go from slow to fast, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just remembered. Okay. Right here, we have this right here, time remapping. So our speed is right here and we turn on our keyframe. And just like anything, uh-oh, did we lose it? It went bye-bye. Did I delete it? What happened? Where'd you go? Did we jump? Let's undo. Because what happened here? Okay. Hey, Geronimo, you sneezed and it made my thing go away. Yeah, well, you should probably help me out there. Like, I literally do nothing and it hates me. Okay. So let's speed ramp this clip. Okay, we're on our clip here. Okay, cool. So just like anything in keyframes, we can go in here into our speed and we can I don't know, pick right here and we're going to let's like what did I do? I don't think I did anything. Do I need to time it there? That's the velocity, right? trying to do a speed ramp and I'm trying to remember what I'm doing exactly. Oh. Yes. Jason, on Wednesday, I'll answer this. I can't think about it right now. I know how to do it.
Before having the free, the paid version for Da Vinci, I was just doing like a speed, changing the speed at, clipping it and.
Yeah, that's how,
And then do it crossfade.
yeah, you could do that too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you just make the timing different on the clips. But no, there is the speed ramp, and I wonder if I have to make the clip. I don't do this often,
Yeah.
so let me think about it, and on Wednesday I'll answer it. And then going back to normal motion, right? Yeah, yeah, I agree. Okay. Thanks for asking a great question, Jason. I love it. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just gonna ask you all to work on your own projects and or you can watch me edit. And I am happy to allow you to talk you through what I'm doing. But I gave you the green screen. I told you about extra credit opportunity. You start working on the green screen now. You can submit it early. You have 3 weeks to do it. But I'm going to stop my share. I'm going to start a new project. And so I'm just going to talk. Anybody have questions or comments before? If not, I'm just going to talk myself through editing. And we will see how frustrated I get if this plug becomes an issue. So Gav, what's the name of my project? CAPTCHA? CAPTCHA. All right.
These computers have a clip grab.
It's a clip grab. I do not believe they do. Go for it. I think they'll delete after you shut down, but go for it. All right, let's close this project.
Can manually delete everything.
That's not true. You don't know me at all, man. You don't know me at all, Geronimo.
If I take away your delete button for one day.
Don't do it.
You wouldn't be able to.
You missed, hey, Geronimo. Okay, so I'm importing my file right here, which is all the red files and everything. Geronimo, if I said to you, one day when you are older, you might get hit by a boulder. And when you're lying there saying, help me, please, what would you say?
What do you mean?
Exactly. You wouldn't know that the seagulls peck your knees, right?
Legal?
Stop it now. Ooh, ah, ooh, 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 ah, ooh, ooh, ah, ooh, 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 ah, ooh, ooh, ah.
So they just skip into the timeline on the video.
They're like, what is that, Tim?
Just that. This week yesterday or Saturday? Did you go? No.
Saturday?
Walk the booth. Were you there?
Yeah, I was the host.
You the host? No, you weren't.
Yeah,
We got it on 4K video documentation.
on 3 cams. Actually, 2.
Yeah, what were you eating under there?
What happened?
Eating underwear.
You were eating underwear? That's gross, dude. Dude, you actually?
Oh my God, you got me. You got me with the biggest dad joke.
Like every now and then I was just like, got a mini heart attack. Like, is it REC? It's REC.
Oh, yeah, like your kids on my. Dude, it would happen so many times.
No, literally, they knew that. Okay,
I was just like.
well, I'm going to edit. I expect you all to edit. Let's see. You know what? Should I share it? Yeah, I'm going to share. You can keep watching. Mateo, you been editing?
Yes, I'm doing a voiceovers right now.
Awesome. Can't wait to see it. Adobe Premiere. There we go. Okay. All right. I want to edit in what timeline do you normally edit in, Jason? I do
I
4K
usually
probably.
have it 4K, but I try to have it in that aspect ratio to cut out the, yeah, I would do it on HDR.
Yeah, probably, right? Okay.
Less issue.
All right, let's just pull in a clip and see what it looks like, just to be safe. I want to keep my settings. All right, and then, of course, this guy was fun, huh?
Oh, yeah. He was-
It was widescreen though, huh?
Yeah.
He kept doing a face. Oh man, I like this a lot. Mm-hmm. 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 Drama, what are you doing?
You know, when someone has their phone or their notifications on silence,
No,
we hit notify anyway. What does that do?
I don't know. Does it just go like? I think it just like texts them.
Jumps up.
Well, you know, the new update that's really weird is you can I've gotten a phone call and it went to my voicemail, and then it says voicemail answer, and you can answer mid voicemail now.
Oh yeah, they can also FaceTime you and leave a video voice like a video.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna do that.
Well, I'll tell you this
I'm
after
gonna call
we're
you, like,
stop
some mornings
recording.
when you won't pick up, and I'll-
Okay, so just for people who are watching at home, instead of me talking to Geronimo, I've imported my files, and what I'm going to do is go through and sync my audio, which I have a ton of audio here. I have a ton of different clips, and what was fun was this is from my shoot. Hey Jason, I have a question for you. Maybe you know this about Red. How come sometimes Red gives multiple clips, but they're all the same?
Honestly, that's the first time that I've seen that. Try to figure that out.
Look, it's all, is it a different take?
No, it's the same one, but if you click on it,
Look, it's one. Look,
no,
3,
it's all the
1,
same clip. It's all the same clip. but
3,
if you-
1, 3, 1. Why do I need all three?
I think they're different files.
Why?
Like types.
Why? What do you mean?
Like if you go out of Premiere and you go to the folder and you right click, there'll be different file types. It'll be the same clip, different file types.
It's probably the spectrum of what you can get, so it's just extra information.
Cool. All right.
So like that.
So Geronimo didn't know, basically, is what he's saying.
I've never seen that. Like in DaVinci, I just dropping that whole file.
There's a Final Cut, it just gives you one, even though it's pretty good, gives you the right. You know, Nick also edits on DaVinci, right? I mean, on Final Cut.
That's fine. You can edit on anything you want.
So that's three, though. The ratio is three out of 4 Gap employees edit on Final Cut.
3 out of 4.
Yeah, so Tim, Grant, Nick, and me, that's 4.
You edit on Final
I
Cut?
just told you I converted like last 2 weeks ago.
You didn't tell me that.
I did.
Why'd you do that?
It was a personal choice.
Yeah, well, good for you, man.
Because Nick.
Yeah,
No,
his
Nick
boss,
and
his
Grant.
boss, Nick.
They don't like-
All right.
There's no one to defend Final Cut when Grant's not used.
You have to pretend to be a Final Cutter. So yeah, so basically the long art, see, but then how come there's just one here now? I think this is a MOS. Is that why? Yeah, look, and this one has 2, but there's 3 up there. What? Why, Jason?
Wait, how much older are you than your brother? Age difference.
Dude, I've told you this before.
That's your brother, right?
Yeah, just because we don't all look the same, Geronimo.
Everyone on set told me that was your brother. If you
Absolutely.
guys would have switched glasses, it would have, you guys could have switched roles.
No, seriously, is that your brother?
That is his brother. Him's just.
Bruce is my brother? This guy?
Yeah,
No.
Or this guy?
both, I guess.
That's your brother.
I can see both now.
You switch glasses, you guys are the same.
I think you guys are being kind of not nice to me, but watch him have like his seizure so good.
Right, yeah.
You wanna know something funny?
That's not the good one. That was the first take.
Yeah.
His last
It was like
one.
the second or third.
Yeah, this one.
He was getting better and better.
He was getting more pink.
Look, here he goes. Oh man.
Well, she jumped up.
Yeah.
Good amount.
No, Sophie was like, oh, it was so good. Movies are fun to make. Mm. So Jason doesn't know why the red sometimes gives a 1 file, sometimes gives
I would probably
3
say it's
files.
audio. It's fluctuating.
Well, oh,
Cause like, did we have what's it called, a lab? No.
lavalier.
There's a lab off some time maybe. So hopefully,
Pretty smooth, how old is that?
It's a newer one. It's brand. It's like a year old. You can't do anything.
okay, well, there's no lab in that one. Zoom mic. So.
This is MOS.
Yeah.
Movies are fun, man. This was fun. He's a good actor. They're all 3 of them are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tips? I directed him, Geronimo. That's what you're supposed to do when you do stuff.
In general, growing up,
You're saying Bruce is my brother?
which is the guy with the money?
That's Andre.
Oh, that's Andre?
That's his brother.
So why when he wasn't there, you kept saying Bruce is on his way?
This guy was here first.
Oh, was he?
Man, what's going on with you, dude? You're weird.
Oh, that's why you were like, wait, why did I keep that?
Okay, well, I mean, he's like an attractive man, so like, what?
So it's not me.
Yeah, like I'm not offended by you saying I look like person.
Didn't know you had a younger. No, that's the youngest, but I thought he just had a little bit.
Look at this though, Jason.
Yeah,
This is like way overexposed.
it's the different ISO versions, that's why.
Oh,
That-
okay.
Yeah, that's
Put them on
it.
top of each other.
It's giving me different ISOs. huh?
Yeah, yeah, so, then DaVinci just compresses it to 1 file, so then Premiere doesn't.
Yes,
Okay,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Well, that answers that question.
Yeah.
Fun in editing. Yeah,
Does
exactly.
Premiere do that? They're not Premiere.
He doesn't know. He doesn't edit in Final Cut. He's lying. So that's interesting. So then so the red, you can choose different ISOs on different,
Well, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to bring it into the red, what is this, Cinema Pro? app
Yeah,
thing, and then there you pick where
pick what you want it. Yeah,
and then it'll save it as that, and then when you bring it into Premiere.
that's right. Yes.
So you
Okay.
have
Yes.
It's a free app. It's the
That's
red
there
reader.
when we're doing it. Like I said, I don't use it.
Yeah. His laptop can't handle YouTube. That's why he's never seen the thing we just watched that I'm not gonna tell him about. Not about the worm. We didn't watch Worm today.
Did you know that, you know how they made those, worm buckets for the movie, The Dune?
No, I don't know this story.
Or they got banned for, or that banned, they got recalled.
Recalled, huh? Good story.
A couple of weeks of being out.
Couple of days, after a couple of days. Cause it was,
Why? Why is it inappropriate?
Yeah, why? You know, explain it to us.
Is that why you bought one?
I haven't even seen the movie,
Yeah, that's the weirder part. You bought the popcorn bucket though.
you can't buy it.
Or by the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, you are. The Slimer one or the trap one?
Trap when I saw that.
So what I'm doing now is I'm just syncing my audio. I'm going through and picking the right clips. Hopefully I got good recorded audio. I'm already nervous. Let's look at this right now. Let's do this. I forgot to do this part, so let's change our hardware to this. Okay. Okay. We're still recording on Zoom, Geronimo. Roll camera. Three, five, take two. All right. It's not in sync, but oh. Okay, so it's the right one. So of course, how are we going to synchronize this? Well, obviously we can go off the clap, we can have the slate, but you know, Final Cut, let's right click. No, Premiere Pro, let's right click and say synchronize. And it's gonna find. Look, oh, look, the top layer moved over. And now if we look. There you go. Our audio should sync.
You know, yeah, Final Cut,
Of course, our biggest problem, I'm glad we changed our audio and saw what happened was, of course, Premiere,
that's not the right clip.
well, the audio is all compressed. All the layers are compressed into one thing here. So what do we have to do? We have to do what I've showed you in the past, is we actually have to go in and modify our audio channels here. And look, we want it to be a mono, and we want it to be that, like that. Say the clip will not affect the clip in sequence, but applied next time the clip is edited. Okay, there we go. So going back to here, we should bring in our clip and resync. And what's that going to do is it's going to give us our mono layer.
So do you want your track to be mono, or do you want this dialogue to be mono? Because I was having issues with that earlier.
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
So do you want your dialogue to be mono, or do you want your whole track, your audio track to be mono? Your audio track.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
So like I have a good chunk of my stuff that was mono like that.
Yes.
But then I also had my track, audio track, the layer mono. And so I was having issues exporting it. And so I ended up going back through everything and realizing is my exporting. That was one of the issues.
Okay, so on your track, well, it depends, right? Like, so if you want your track to be mono, that's gonna either like be left or right.
Yeah.
Now, I want it mono in my editing process, and then I'll make it stereo on my timeline. But so basically what I want to do is I'm bringing in mono so that I can have the separate channels, so that I have well, no, because my channels will come in like, this is the boom, this is the lav, this is the other lav. If not, Premiere will bring them all in as one mixed source.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm doing with my audio channels here, is looking at mono.
Yeah, I was exporting and I was trying to have leading to be a 5.1. And I was just having so many issues, and it was just one track that was 5.1. So I was like, okay, just for this instance, I'm just gonna take that off and then put it in 5.
Yeah, because look, if we look at it here, we can see our different sources, right?
Yeah.
So look, like right here, we can see that we have two different sources of audio. So if we bring this in on the timeline,
Yeah.
yes, but because I switched it, now we're getting all of these together. Oh my gosh, you just walked through the Zoom? That's embarrassing.
Delivery. Why is it all green? Broke the projector.
I didn't break it. Geronimo has like the crappiest projector of all time. What?
It's not a projector.
Not holding up.
We just need one more. He gave up the first two pretty easily. I can get the last one out of.
I can get the last one out of him.
What do you edit on there?
I use Final Cut or DaVinci Resolve, depending on what I'm doing.
Cool.
I just unsubscribed to Adobe or downgraded to just the Photoshop plan. I never use Premiere or
You should
After
use GIMP.
Effects.
You should use GIMP. It's Photoshop.
What's GIMP?
GIMP. You know what it's
Is that like the copycat?
Yeah. The open source.
Oh, I've never actually tried it.
It sucks. It's horrible.
Oh,
It's so hard to use.
I love Lightroom. I can't not have Lightroom. It's just so easy.
Yeah.
But I mostly use Final Cut just because of native Mac performance. It's unbelievable.
DaVinci's better.
It is, yeah. I don't doubt that. I hate color correcting on Final Cut.
Oh, yeah.
It's terrible. But at the same time, like I'm usually not doing that much. So I use LUTs for everything. I purchase like
Oh,
hundreds of them. So it's like I just use that. It's fine. But yeah, no, I've been waiting to buy the license for DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah.
And like I want to start switching over, but like it's just, well, it's also just like taking the time to like get more efficient at DaVinci. I know it wouldn't take it out, but like for what I do right now, I have not needed those features or like that stuff. You know, I find a workaround. So
Yeah.
it hasn't been a need.
Like I bought DaVinci because.
All right.
Fusion tab.
Yeah.
That's a huge. reason why.
Fusion, yeah.
I didn't.
All right, well, I'm gonna stop recording. But that was cool. DaVinci talk to listen to. You feel free to stay on Zoom. You can continue to watch me edit, but this is just a taste for those people at home. So remember, turn in your projects, and the green screen assignment is available. You can start working on that if you need something, and reach out if you have any questions. Okay. You guys feel free to keep talking. Sorry, I just realized I'm still recording, so let's stop my share, say goodbye, and then we're gonna stop recording. Mateo, hang out if you'd like. I'm gonna share my screen again.